Hello internet, welcome back to the Waifus. Let's talk about Pascal, his kit, his best stats, overloaded, priority for the skills, and then our analysis. This is of course everything based on only the kit for Pascal. We don't know how good or bad it's going to be when we get him into the game, him, her, whatever it is. I might be changing pronouns through the video because I don't know what Pascal is, so sorry. But we start. We do everyday live streams on NIKKE and multiple games. You have the links on top and on the description down below. So join us, come say hello. That's it, let's get into the video. And for that, we have to swap to actually Twitter, of course, because they just published the kit like 14 minutes ago, maybe something like that, like almost an hour ago. So let's talk about this. Pascal, of course, supports her rocket launcher iron burst 1 abnormal because he's from the collaboration. Machine life form. It's not even a boy or a girl, it's a machine life form. So first of all, he's going to be a pure healer, which means it's going to be really hard to justify using. Not only because he's a pure healer, but because it's an SR unit, which means lower stats, and also because it's a 40-second cooldown burst. Let's talk about that later though. So to start with, skill number 1, it's a passive watch out. Every 10 shots, you will be healing the ally with the highest defense, meaning your counter, your tank, or in this case for this collaboration, 2B, because she is a defender if I remember correctly. This, unless you are playing manually, is not gonna proc often enough. If you play manually, however, this is actually a good skill. Healing 6% every 10 shots, if you can get some specific stats and cubes later, we'll see, can actually be a decent skill and a good heal. Now, skill number 2, I'll do my best, is another passive, which activates when entering burst stage 1, meaning you don't have to burst with him. It will be weird if you don't, because you're losing heals, and we'll talk about it later again. But when it activates when entering burst stage 1, affects 3 allies with the lowest HP, increasing HP potency by almost 40% for 10 seconds. HP potency means that the heals received are going to be increased. This is pretty good paired with her burst. And also if you have someone like Rapunzel, which heals with every shot, or Pepper, this is super good. Now lastly, burst skill, stay safe everyone, which is a cooldown time of 40 seconds. One of the worst things about this character, it affects 3 allies with the lowest HP, recovers 55% of the caster's final max HP as HP. So a couple of things to note here. First, it's final max HP for both skill 1 and burst skill, meaning you can overload him and he will benefit from that. Now, it's an SR unit, so I will not recommend actually overload him. If you do decide to overload him, the priority 100% is going to be charge speed and max ammo. So you can keep proccing skill number 1, and you have to manually play him 100%. There is no like question about that. So if you don't like manually rocket launchers and you don't like a jiggly tin can, I would suggest not really using Pascal. When it comes to the cube, you have actually 2 options for the cube. So let's go here to top class. The best options are going to be Adjutant if you want to go with more charge speed, Resilience if you want to go with the reloaded speed, or Relic Quantum because this is actually a unit that might see some uses on PvP depending how fast he can generate burst. However, for that, we still have to wait and test the unit properly in game. Skill number 2 paired with the burst or someone else healed should be enough to keep everyone alive in your team, or at least the 3 units that he's healing. But the problem comes with being a 40-second cooldown unit. So for new players, if you are like a new player that don't know what you should be using or what unit you can pair with Pascal as a burst 1, the best option you are going to be having is N102. So you could be using N102 and Pascal. I will suggest bursting first with Pascal and then with N102, or depends how much you need the heals. But even for new players, at the start of the game, heals are not that important. You can clear most of the content just by pushing with a strong SSR unit, which you will get in your first pulse, right? So I'm not sure if even for new players, Pascal is going to be a unit that we will see a lot in game. The other bad thing, and I was talking with this with Aljane, a shout out to him by the way, he's a pure healer when most of the other units that we have that are similar have other uses. For example, Noise heals, but she also taunts, meaning, you know, she can keep herself alive, she can do provide some utility to the team. Pascal only heals, he can do nothing else. So not only Pascal is a pure healer, he's also a 40-second cooldown, meaning you are already taking 1 slot, but you need to use 1 more slot for another burst 1 because you cannot go with only 1. So either he's gonna be a PvP unit, or we will really not see him that often unless the heals turn out to be super amazing, which could happen, we don't know. Overall, the reception for Pascal so far has been pretty positive, at least so far. We'll see later how good she turns out to be. I'm actually looking forward to the other 2 kits that they should be releasing later today. So 2B, I'm not sure if they will release A2 today or they will wait until her banner is actually closed. I'm guessing they will release it because we get the update later. So with the update, we get the new characters in game on the Wikipedia. I almost forgot to include the burst animation actually, and they just released 2 big kits, so I'm gonna be making another video in a little bit after I analyze the character with my friends. So let's watch the burst animation, because that's always the funny thing. As you can see, he's gonna be always afraid of shooting and killing. I think that's related to the lore of the character. I think he doesn't like violence, which it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Actually, it's pretty sad if you are actually seeing it in game. He's like, I don't want to be shooting. But, you know, it is what it is. The burst animation, I haven't seen it, so let's actually watch it together. It should be in game now. Yes, now. Okay, let's see. Some jiggly animations. I see. I like it. I like it. Pretty good burst. Pretty good burst, I will say. Okay. My only complaint is going to be, why don't we have all the SR units with burst animations? I think they really need to add them. I hope they add them, because NIKKE should have one, and then the rest of the SRs should also have them. But it is what it is, right? Says Lavi for some of the characters. Hope we get one for NIKKE. But that is the burst animation for Pascal. So that's it. Let me know what you think about Pascal and the kit, and if you think that everything is more or less on point, or you would change anything, right? We'll be doing a stream later today with the new patch. Come say hello, you have the links on top, and just activate the notification bell. Thank you to all my patrons for making this content possible. Like always, one love for the support. Good luck with your pool dinner dates, and see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことです。